Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Amy and today's video is going to be the controversial parenting tag. And I just want to start out by saying that I've seen this tag going around several years, like since I started watching YouTube, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And it's one tag that I was always like, I'm never gonna do that. It's way too controversial. I don't know, after having like my 4th and now my 5th baby and being a mom for 13 years, I feel confident in like the way that I parent my children and my views, and I know not everyone's gonna agree. That's why it's called the controversial parenting tag, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there and let you guys know like what my views are. And also a little disclaimer, just because I feel one way about a topic, these very controversial topics, does not mean I think it's the best way for everybody or that there's only one right way. These are just my opinions and my choices, and so yeah, so we can agree to disagree on some topics and still just get along. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1 is pro-life or pro-choice. So for me, I could never have an abortion, but for other people, I want them to have a choice. That's really hard though, because saying pro-choice is only giving the woman a choice and not her unborn baby. So for me, like I said, I could never choose to have an abortion, and I know you can say, you know, you never know what you would do in that situation, but just for me and my faith and my beliefs, I believe that every person was created by God for a purpose, and it's not my choice to prevent somebody from coming onto this earth, no matter how they were conceived. So that's just my thoughts on it. But like I said, I don't judge anyone else for being pro-choice, and in fact, women that have to make that decision and do choose pro-choice decisions for themselves, I feel like they need to be loved, you know, the most and more. So that's just my view on it, and be respectful in the comments. Number 2, baby wearing. I have no idea why baby wearing is so controversial. I love baby wearing. Some of my children have loved being worn in the baby carriers more than others, and I love wearing my babies. And I mean, you know, up until like the toddler age, once they get past, you know, Riker, I would wear him right now still if he let me. He's gonna be 3 in January. But yeah, I don't know what's so controversial about it, but I love baby wearing. So, and I love seeing other mommies wear their babies. So number 3 is circumcision. So if you're new to my channel, you might not know, I have 4 daughters and 1 boy, and me and my husband actually do not agree on circumcision. And I'm not going to talk about if my son was or was not or is or isn't circumcised. I'm not going to talk about that just because I don't want that on YouTube, but I'll let you know like how I feel about it. In my opinion, baby boys are born perfect the way they are. They do not need to be cut or circumcised. I know that it's very controversial based on the benefits or risks involved and things like that. I would not want to be circumcised, and I don't want my children to be circumcised. So that's just my view on it. I don't judge other people for having their children circumcised, but I don't want to cause any unnecessary pain in my children, and so that's just my thoughts on it. Number 4 is adoption. Why is that controversial? I have no idea, but ever since I was a teenager, I have had a heart or a desire in my heart to do foster care and adoptive care, and I hope that someday I am able to do that. Right now in my life situation, it's not possible, but one day I hope to adopt, and I think adoption is a beautiful family story and a beautiful way for families to come together. All right, number 5 is baby piercing. So this has changed since becoming a mom 13 years ago. My first baby, we got her ears pierced when she was 3 or 4 months old, I believe. I think she had to be at least 3 months old, and then we took her and got her ears pierced, and they're still pierced to this day. Like I said, I don't want to cause my babies any unnecessary pain, and I have had a daughter. My second daughter, I did not get her ears pierced as a baby, and so when she was 4 years old, she wanted earrings like her big sister, and she said, "Mommy, I want my ears pierced," and we took her. She got scared, and so we didn't do them. We said, "When you're ready, we'll bring you back," and about 3 days later, she decided she was ready. She was gonna sit there and be brave, and she did, and she made that choice at 4, and she's happy with that choice, and it was, you know, something that she got to choose and be brave. And so that's what I'm choosing for my 5th baby girl. We're not piercing her ears, and when she's old enough, if she chooses, I will take her. But I don't judge other moms for piercing their baby's ears. Like, you do you and I'll do me. Number 6, breast milk versus formula. Again, why is this controversial? Like, feed your baby. In my opinion, yes, breastfeeding is natural, and if a mom can breastfeed her baby, then by all means do it. But I have had struggles with breastfeeding and had to bottle feed my baby's formula, and I have had struggles with breastfeeding and got donor human milk for my babies. So in my opinion, I don't know what's controversial about this. Feed your baby, and however that is, that's good. Number 7, cry it out method. I do not agree in the cry it out method. I don't know. I mean, I know it works for some families, but to me, I can't stand to know that my baby's crying for comfort and to ignore that. That doesn't work for me. So I don't agree in cry it out. Number 8 is spanking. So this is very controversial, and I have to say there's a difference between beating your child and a spanking. I do not agree with beating your children or spanking out of anger or things like that. So sometimes I think some children could benefit from a spanking, yes. Number 9, co-sleeping. I love co-sleeping. So I have had some babies that have co-slept longer than others. Kylie, my oldest baby, by 5 months old, she wanted her own crib and her own space, and I gave that to her, and she slept perfectly 12 hours like every night. And then other babies have wanted to co-sleep longer. Madeline co-slept till she was almost 5, and that was fine, and she's 8 now, and sometimes she still wants to be in my room, and that's totally fine too. I want my children to feel comfortable and loved and welcome anywhere in my home, and if they need extra snuggles at night, then I need to be there for them. But I also think it's fine to let your children have their own cribs and their own beds if that's how they sleep best, or if that's how you sleep best. Number 10, home versus public versus private versus charter schools. So if you're a regular subscriber, you know I homeschool some of my children. I have homeschooled all of my children, and all of my children have been in public school before. So right now I have 2 in public school, and I have 2 homeschooling through a charter school. I think some things work better for certain families and other circumstances are better for other families. I just think that children love learning and they need an education, however you choose that for them. 11, vaccinations. This is another thing that has changed for me from when I had my first babies to now. When I had my first children, I was 21 and 20 years old, and I just followed the doctor's orders and the vaccine schedules as they were. I think that they immunize on a very crazy schedule. I just don't think that little tiny babies need to be injected with all of those things. But then I also know that without immunizations, our country might not be as healthy as it is. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't like immunizations, but I also don't like the repercussions if we don't get them. So some of my children are immunized as scheduled, some of them are very delayed, and Hadley has not had any at all. And I wish that they just weren't even a thing, that we didn't even have to choose them, but yeah, that's not an option, obviously. Number 12 is medicating children. So I can see why this is controversial depending on what the medication is for. If my children are in pain, I will give them Tylenol. If they had diabetes, I would give them insulin. But for like mood disorders and things like that, I feel like I would try a more natural route first. But I also don't judge parents that have to put their children on medications to help, you know, mood disorders and things like that, for them to live and maintain a healthy lifestyle or a normal daily routine, whatever normal means. So I don't judge families that have to put their children on those medications, but if there's like a more natural route, I would definitely do my research first and try like different diets and things like that, like avoiding gluten and sugars and things like that before trying prescription drugs. So that's my view on medicating children. Number 13 is cloth versus disposable diapers. I've done both. I love cloth diapering. I think all the prints are super cute. I don't mind the diaper laundry. And I've done disposable diapers as well. So I don't, however you want to keep your baby's butt clean, that's fine. Number 14, store-bought baby food versus homemade baby food. So I love making my baby's baby food, and I don't judge families that have to buy their baby's food. I know not everyone has time to make homemade baby foods, but I think about it like when I'm cooking for my family, my husband, myself, and my older kids, I don't cook from boxes or frozen sections for them like every day. And so I certainly don't want to just feed my baby pre-packaged baby foods. And I enjoy making my baby's food. So I personally like to make my baby's food. And yeah, but I've also bought baby food. So yeah. So those are the 14 topics in the controversial parenting tag. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know of any other tag videos that you would like me to do, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.